All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Readers. Interesting day on the sector, and it was really driven by political headlines, right? So, we're never here to talk about who we're going to vote for, who we want to win, but so far, 2024 has been about the political headlines, and that was the day to day, right? So, I'll talk about it in some good detail, but you can see Trump last night very, very big, loud, capital yes on the Florida laws. Not only that, he says he would work with Congress for safe banking, this and that, and so much more, right? So, very, very, very loud post. And my last video, maybe two videos ago, was about a very similar post that Trump also said. So he is basically doubling down. And I think more than anything, and again, I'll talk about this in the fireplace shortly before I get into the technicals. More than anything, I think we now have some rumors, some assumptions. I think we now maybe believe weed's gonna get discussed on tomorrow's debate. All right. It was literally not a question, not a comment, not an attack point. Weed was a very, very major, insignificant nothing on the last debate. Okay. This is the first debate with these two, right? Kamala versus Trump. Again, I'm not here to talk about who's going to win this, that, and that, right? But hey, if we go from nothing to something, that's big. And again, we already know he's getting a little bit loud on his yes. And don't forget, it was Kamala that kicked off that monster run herself, right? So in a lot of ways, both of them are actually good for the sector. We just need one of them to start getting a little bit louder, right? So I'll give you some more thoughts on that. I'll give you some technical thoughts across the sector, right? But before we do go any further and I give you more of my thoughts and opinions, well, what are we going to do? Same thing we always do, right? We're going to take a look at the daily and the weekly, excuse me, to see how these things are setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages. There are horizontal support and resistance lines that I do draw manually myself. And then when we are done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can, please subscribe to this channel. Share this video online with your friends. Comment good or bad if you disagree. Look, anything you can do helps so much with these YouTube algorithms. But for real, just being here, giving me your time, oh, I'm so grateful for it, all right? And hey, fun fact, I figured out YouTube Live. I know that seems really easy, but I'm horrible at the internet. That's going to become a regular thing going forward. All right, so let's come into the fireplace and look. A lot of the things I'm about to say don't have a lot of data behind it. They are just the thoughts in my head. Never hesitate to give me a different perspective, completely disagree, so on and so forth, right? But look, the debate last time, right? And last time was obviously two different people. It was Biden versus Trump instead of the Kamala versus Trump, right? Weed was not even a remote importance of a single second, right? There was nothing dedicated to this sector, and that's not a good thing, right? I think what we saw today, and I'll jump to the screenshots shortly, right? But what we saw today was an additional comment, a louder comment, and a comment days before, right? Because it happened last night, days before the actual debate, right? So let me come into the actual screenshot. Let me show it right here. So you can see that this happened yesterday night, right? And very, very loudly from his actual account, he says that he is a man that lives in the state regardless of presidency or not, right? Like he's gonna vote like any of us. As a resident of the state with the thing on the ballot, right? He's gonna vote yes on Amendment 3, all right? If he wins, and he says as president, right? He's gonna work with Congress, and obviously you can pause and read the whole thing, but work with Congress to pass some common sense laws, including those two big words right there, right? Safe banking. That's a big big two words, right? Along with so many other things, right? So, and obviously there's so many other things aren't there, but hey, we already know that the DEA rescheduling has been pushed to after the elections. So I think that's kind of the, and other things I'm really loosely implying to, right? So, and then sorry, let me, I don't know if I'm gonna find it, but again, it was on the last video. He basically gave that same version of a comment, but I would say a little bit toned down. So again, I just said it, I'm echoing my thoughts, right? But I love the fact that it was a louder post this time, right? I love the fact that it was a couple days away from the debate, right? Like those are good things, all right? At the minimum, if it doesn't happen, those are things that start rumors, and the first half of that saying is by the rumor, right? So we'll see what happens, right? And hey, come, in my opinion, and I'll get to the chart shortly, right? I think tomorrow might be a doji. I think tomorrow's going to be a pretty flat day. I think everyone's waiting to see what, if anything, is actually said at the debate, and then that might dictate the big up or down. Look, let's say they say something. Will it be enough? Do I even know what enough is? Obviously not, right? I'm just some dude. I'm going to listen live. I don't have a script in front of me, right? So, I think if Trump says anything along the lines that he did on that tweet on live television, that would be huge, right? Again, she's done it before. She was the first politician to save this sector from all-time lows, right? Kamala's done this already. She just hasn't done it since she's taken the torch from Biden. I don't know how else to say it, right? So she has done it before. One of them, just any of them, I don't care who. Imagine if both of them, right? And again, that's a little bit part of the rumors, right? But we need something loud. I don't think just something is enough. We need something loud, right? So just look for that, and we'll look for the market reaction to that on Wednesday, okay? What else did I have in my mind? I don't think there was too much more news stuff I had in my mind. Yeah, I was a short fireplace, I guess. All right, 6:55. At 6:55, I'll transition us into the charts. Let's come take a look at Tilray. So, so sorry, real quick. If you can subscribe, hey, if you can share, it does wonders with the algorithms, right? So, I normally talk about the moving averages, but very quickly, let's talk about that 162 line, because that's actually becoming a pretty strong line right there, right? Obviously, this 151 is my all-time low line. But hey, this is, you can argue the third hit, right? This really isn't there. I would give that support to the 151. This doesn't actually count because you can see those are both wicks right there. This is one good save. That's two good saves. I would call this three good saves on that 162 line right there, right? So we're starting to use this support a few times. I'm hoping we don't have to use it too many more times and we can continue on up, right? But hey, so far that's been an important line, and more than anything, it's been our little buffer between, here and all-time low fears, right? So very good to see this thing doing the job, right? Again, there were not a lot of reasons for this to go up, especially given how bad of a candle Friday was. I sincerely do believe it was this. And I woke up this morning wondering why, because I remember the last comment. Let's see if I can find it. I remember retruth is something I said. Boom. So the last one was around 9-1. Let me come here. Dun. Hold on. I know she has it right here. So look, the last time he posted, it was actually on 8/31. And again, feel free to pause this if you want. But Trump basically said he believes that this is going to get passed. Where is it? Has already given... Oh man, I know I saw a pretty loud comment. Okay, this, whether people like it or not, this will happen. That was maybe the last, and you see how long it took for me to find it, right? Like this was a good little moment. This was a good little tweet that he put. One thing, and I feel like I might have even said it around here. Look, I'm talking about being loud. I feel like I said it. If not, I didn't. Look, my worry was this single thing was going to get lost in the thousands and thousands of other things that he posts, right? And lo and behold, we come back to the newest one, right? And the newest one, like I said, it's real easy to find it because it's right there. It's a big capital yes, right? Like the man doubled down basically 9 days after he put the last one, right? And I mean that is something that I believe, because look at it just on the technical side. Look at that Friday candle. Two things jump out. Number one, the low of the day at 162 was the close of the day. There is no wick down there on Friday. People were selling all day long. And when I see that scary candle under a support, under the 8 moving average, after so, like, my thought is this has to continue on down, right? Trump saved it with this. Trump actually got it over the 8 moving average. Excuse me. It doesn't really look like a doji, but I think you can almost call this a doji. You know, I think there's a little bit more uncertainty here. And again, it's all going to be about what is said, okay? These 3 lines, basically 180, 181, right? That's going to be really hard to break. A good, I'm going to say it one more time, a good debate will help us gap over these lines. Okay, I think unless we can gap over these, it's going to be really hard to get over them. All right, clearly, I would love the stock at 190 ish. I think 203 has been and continues to be the big line that we really need Tilray to get to. All right, so let's see what's said tomorrow. That's going to really dictate a lot. When we look at the weekly, again, there's not a lot that says this was the week that should do well. I'm glad he put his comment. I'm hoping we get a little bit more on live TV, right? So, ooh, excuse me. That was not a great cough. Excuse me. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions, even if you disagree. I feel like the rest, I'm just going to kind of echo the thoughts, right? So I'm going to kind of run through them and, hey, maybe I'm just going to chapter these all together. But Tilray, excuse me, sorry. I just did a live video and I normally don't talk for 20 minutes before making another 20-minute video. Tilray, I just ended it with calling this a doji. CGC is a doji, right? CGC ran over the 8 moving average, couldn't close there. Let's see what the debate does, right? There are rumors churning, right? Let's look at MSOS because I know we talked about MSOS, right? MSOS did the gap up that I just talked about on Tilray, right? So again, excuse me. Oh man, I need to get water. I'm gonna pause this. I'll be right back. I'm so sorry. Oh man, I do apologize. I'll time my live videos better. But yeah, look, again, the point of MSOS was the gap up. Obviously, big 11% candle, right? But if we can gap up from good debates, it would gap over those two. Because look, this one has its own little cluster, right? Again, Tilray has a little bit louder with 3 and this and that. But what we did today was give us a reason to think good thoughts. Tomorrow should confirm it. Again, not tomorrow trading hours, tomorrow debate. And then hopefully Wednesday we see the follow through, right? So look, with CGC, because I know I didn't talk about it, right? With CGC, there's a couple ways of looking at this. There's a nice channel from basically 5 all the way up to 580. That's a little bit, that's about 15% if I'm doing some quick math in my head, right? Excuse me. From there, maybe 650 up to 750. That's not too bad, and a little bit less, maybe another 15% right there, right? I don't think I like it from here to here, right? I would ride this. I would ride this. I would avoid that. That's just me personally, right? So, CGC, watch how it goes. And hey, I think a good debate will get us to 650. And I think that's where that trade would come up from, right? So at the minimum, you know this isn't a good daily chart, right? So we really need something to help pick this thing up, right? Even Tilray, let's be honest, this isn't a great daily chart, right? Like we're maybe over the 8, a single candle after losing them all right there, right? So, you know, is what it is. But hey, Tilray has a little bit of a tornado going, right? You go up, you come down, you go up, you come down, you might go up again, right? So that's why that 203 number is right there. I talked about it, so let's just finish this up right there. Again, MSOS, we need a, do I lower this line? I'll lower this line to here. I'm cool with that. I'm very cool with that. I love MSOS over 855. Green, 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 red, 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 green, 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 red, 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 green, red, green, red, right? Nothing. 855 to 1050. Oh man, a $2 move right there. That's nice right there, right? That's more than 20% right there, right? So I love it over 855. Do I like it here? I'll be honest with you. I think 846, 847, I would even say I love it. I think that's a good little risk reward tolerance zone right there, right? Now again, I don't mind the trade from what 720 all the way up to 780. It's not quite 10%, but it's something right there, right? But yeah, oof, MSOS. I love this thing over let's call it 850-ish, right? ACB, we'll take a quick look at ACB. Oh, I don't have to say too much here. ACB needs to get over 660 for sure. There's too many moving averages right there, right? I like the fact that the 200 did the job. That's a good technical bounce right there, right? And we just did it in the beginning of August as well, right? But need a little bit better volume. Get me over all those moving averages. The debate will get us over that, or it will not. One of the two, right? So, can I lower that line just a little bit? Let's see. What do you look like? Nah, you're too close. Nah, we'll keep it there. 660. I think it was around there anyway. 660 is still what I like right there. ACB, get me over that line. Beautiful technical bounce. Not too much more I can say right there. Let's take a look at SNDL. Oh, that's a nice candle right there, SNDL. That's a real nice candle. Look, I'm sorry, I was thinking and looking, right? At the minimum, I'm seeing a cluster of moving averages right here, right? We do have four pretty close to each other. Today was a really nice day, and obviously I'm looking at green, 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 red, 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 green. Like there's fast movement here, but it's interesting to really see it take those lines the way it did. Let me know if there was any SNDL. Let me check my phone real quick. Let's see if there's any news that I think what's really catching my eye is all the last tickers that I've shown. None of them have had this strong a candle. That is a big candle right there. What's the news? Yeah, it's all the Trump stuff. It's all the Trump stuff. Yeah, look, I don't really see much news here to justify this big a candle. Again, we look at Tilray, small candle. We look at CGC, Doji, right? We look at MSOS. This is a decent candle, but it's still small. It did have a gap up, but small candle right there, right? We just looked at ACB, small candle. Yeah, SNDL, a little bit of an outlier with the size. I don't care. I don't care if that was a 4% number, a 7% like we see, or a 20%, right? Just that body and the moving average breakage. I think that's what's taking me back. I don't like the fact that volume didn't hold. I think I would expect this to come back down to 208 tomorrow, but I think it won't lose these three. I think it should hold at least one of them. Again, debate does well, get me into 218 range, and man, yeah, this thing might want to kiss three, give or take, right? So yeah, SNDL. That's an interesting candle. That's the most educated thing I can really say about that. I'm just not too sure I'm seeing the reason why, but yeah, I think the sector's gonna doji tomorrow anyway, so it should hold most of that. So high tide. I haven't covered high tide just yet. Interesting. All right. Couple good things that I'm liking. All right. We did build this support line did well, right? This 198. I was trying to zoom out to see why I saw the peak back there and then I zoomed in, but the support did well and it had the moving averages to maintain it, right? So we're definitely at a place that looks pretty, right? We're definitely over four moving averages. We're definitely trying to test this fifth one. This is really tight. All four of these are obviously super, super tight, and the fifth one's right there, right? So let me see if there's an educated line to draw. Let's just put one right there. Let's take you to the top right there. 222. I think 222 is a very important line to break. I'm going to leave that line right there for us. Um, get over 222 is going to be important. This 250 line, I'm going to keep it golden because my goodness, I feel like we were talking about that 250 line for most of the year, and you can kind of see it literally most of the year, and it's been a while, right? But yeah, if we can break into that, that's going to start getting us to thinking, gap fill, this and that, right? So I'm going to keep that gold. I think 222 is important. And again, there are a lot of moving out. I think as I'm looking at 222, I feel like that's a really low line. I think I want it here. I think it's 230. And again, my problem is maybe I'm being a little too tight, right? But that is all five moving averages really, really close to each other, right? So I really want to believe that getting over that 100 moving average matters, right? So where was it before? It was here, right? Yeah, 222. I guess that's not a bad candle size. I can't even get a good zoom, right? No, that's not that big. I like yeah, sorry. I like it right here. I'll take it right there, kind of in the middle of the two. But yeah, basically 230-ish will make me believe we're going to retest 250. All right. I think this was the only positive MACD that we saw so far. Tilray negative, CGC negative, MSOS negative, looking better, but negative, right? SNDL negative, yep. ACB, are you positive after good earnings? Oh, this one's negative too. Yeah, hey, high tide holding the only positive MACD, not too shabby. Obviously, we want it to be more positive and this and that, but that's a good divergence. Hopefully, it continues on, and breaking the 100 moving average would make that happen, right? But yeah, that's a good divergence right there, and yeah, I talked about it. I'll say it again, right? The last earnings wasn't horrible to the normal educated eyes of you and me, right? But obviously the market didn't like it. But hey, there is a lot of green, 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 red, 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 green, 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 red, 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 all over that 100 moving average line, right? So it should try to regain that 250 attempt if that 100 moving average breaks, right? So I think I covered them all. Yeah. Let's see what the debate does. That really, really is the moral of this video. I think tomorrow's going to doji. Wednesday will give us the reaction to the debate. All right. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions, even if you disagree. Oh, I appreciate you so, so much.